You're listening to Unmuted with Papa Mutes.
So this is that one part of directing that is totally in the hands of the director. And you'll get, if you're having trouble, people on the crew will just go, I don't know, this is your job, not mine. Not mine. Now you can ask for help with the sound. You can ask for help with the camera. You can ask for help with lots of things, and people will help you. So knowing how to work with actors, how to get performance, and how story works. That's it.
So what do you do, or what do you tell, what would you tell a young director or a director in general who's pretty green? And I mean, some actors, I'm assuming, just like in life, not everyone's pleasant. What do you do with someone who's just I don't know, what's the word? A pompous ass.
Are you talking about
I'm talking about
actors?
the actor. Now you come in as a young director and you got to deal with people. You got to be a people person, but some people are a little pompous. I'm assuming. I'm just,
Yeah.
Not everybody's pleasant actor-wise.
No, that's true. Now, first of all, we have to step back from that a little bit, because if you're saying you're coming in as a young director and you have this problem working with these actors, were you responsible in any way for casting that person? Now, if you're coming into television, very likely not. There's a cast of characters, actors there already you're working with. But if it's an independent film you're making, then you cast that person. Then my first question to the director would be, why did you cast this person? Why? There's got to be a good reason, and you got to know what that reason is. But to get beyond that, one thing is very important. An actor, any actor, regardless of their skills or abilities or even experience, an actor who is problematic, the reason they're problematic is there's a problem. The problem is not the actor. The actor is reacting to a problem. He may be feeling insecure. He may be feeling unsupported. He may be frightened of the character he's about to play, or the scene is, or there could be personal things going on. Your job as a director working with actors, half of your job is psychological, is understanding human behavior. You could have a problematic director who's been a sweetheart for the past week, and suddenly he's a problem. Now you've got a problem, and you've got to help that person get past those problems and get to the work that has to be done that day, and hopefully do a decent enough job. So it's the many times the problem is the director, and many times, to make it even worse, the problem is the director only blaming the actor as being the problem and not seeing that he or the situation or there are other things, circumstances that are going on that are creating that problem.
So you could have, on the flip side of the coin, you could have an actor he's green or she's green, a little nervous. You got to,
absolutely
push them through, get past that. Maybe they're acting with someone who's not famous, but, more famous than they are, so to speak. Yeah. Now they're nervous.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. My ex-wife she's been in a lot of television and all that. And she was in one TV show where in one scene, she had one line in the middle of a big chaotic scene, one line. Now that's a horrible situation for an actor. And and she was having trouble with it. Just delivering that one line, just the way they wanted it. And the director, unfortunately, kept getting angrier and angrier at her. Like, why can't you just do it? Not understanding why an accomplished actress would be having trouble with one line, which brings up another important thing for all the directors out there who are listening now, or want to be directors, or people who are pursuing that career. Do yourself a big favor. Take an acting class.
Makes sense.
Study acting as an actor, and take an acting class, and hopefully you're in there with a lot of good actors, and hopefully you have a good acting teacher. Once you start experiencing what it's like to be an actor, you'll have more appreciation and understanding for what actors are going through. And actors, in many ways, are like horses. A horse, as you know, you get on the horse knows immediately whether or not you know what you're doing. Actors have the same thing with directors in terms of not if they know what they're doing in terms of directing the movie, not that at all. If they know what they're doing in terms of working with actors, an actor can smell it in a minute. And so this is something, the best way to do that is learn. Don't pretend. Learn and be humble. Be really, really humble. Drop the arrogance, drop the attitude like I'm the director. I know what I want. And which gets us, now I'm starting to move into a whole nother territory, but which is judging a performance and what is the correct performance and all that, which can be a huge, huge issue. But for if you look at a lot of top directors that are out there now, for years have been out there, a lot of them worked as actors. A lot of them worked in theater, which is the most difficult place. And the other thing I would say to a lot of young actors, if you really want to learn how to direct actors, don't direct a film, direct a play. It's a lot harder. It's a lot harder, but it'll really test you. It'll really test you. Because film, as you know, as everybody knows, you can be shooting that scene and all you need is that scene, that moment, that line in a certain way on film, and you've got it. And in a play, you have to work with those actors and develop the characters and the whole play to the point that it can play every night, 8 times a week. And those actors can keep coming back and more or less repeat what you've been working on. It's a more difficult process. But also, you're going to learn things by directing in theater that will serve you so well directing in film. And if you've been directing theater, the actors know it. They can feel it when they're talking to you. They know. They know by your language, by your attitude and all that. In other words, you have to work on yourself as a director to become a good actor's director.
When you moved to LA, how old were you approximately?
That was back in the early 70s. So I was in my 30s.
What did you do? I mean, you plopped down and did you have a game plan? Because, you hear about people going to LA and I'm going to go to LA. I don't have any money in my pocket and I'm going to be famous.
Well, this is another story. I was, as I told you, I was studying at Yale School of Drama. And on one of the bulletin boards at Yale was a letter from the head of MGM, a guy named Herb Solow, who basically said, any graduates of Yale, if you come to LA, look me up and I'll do what I can to help you, or something like that. One of those. And I saw that and I went, how about that? And after I was finished at Yale, I decided I wanted to go to LA because I wanted to get into film and television. I went to LA. I had no job. I had nothing. I had enough money to survive.
Where'd you live? Where did you have a place?
I found a cheap apartment in a very bad part of town. But my goal was to get to MGM, where Herb Solow was.